Hello, all. My name is Namgyal, and this is the first episode of my show called The Casual Conversation. And what I'll be doing in the show is just talking and just having a little conversation about life and so forth. The first guest of the show is a good friend of mine, Ruben.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Ooh, yeah. So, man, tell me.
So far, so good. Everything's going fine. It's an understatement, but keeping myself busy, staying positive, always talking about music with my folks and you boys as well. Always making sure that we're keeping the melon running. And good state of mind, good frame of mind, trying to be positive. Yes, the key word here is positivity, and not be overwhelmed with whatever is that's happening outside. First of all, I've not got lyrics for any of the our songs. I've not got the trans. How do I feel, dude? I'm absolutely stoked. I feel so lucky. Finding you guys out of the blue was a big highlight in my life. Uh, I wish this could happen to any musician, drummer, bassy, guitarist. Hey, I'm finding a new band, and when they find it, that feeling is absolutely great. The way we gel, the way we play, and the fact that we finished a tour in January before the world shut itself off. That was
Lucky us, right?
that was yes, that was really good. And to the people who are listening to this podcast, watching it, special thanks to Namgel. Namgel made sure that we got those gigs. He called those people. He's like, "Give us a chance, man! One freaking chance!" And they did. And we had a tour. All thanks to Namgel. Namgel's patience, perseverance, and hard work paid off for the band. So thanks, man, Namgel.
Thank you.
From the hometown of Mangalore, I salute.
About the Sikkim tour, like that was,
Yeah.
I think, one of the biggest achievement for us as a band, right? And
Absolutely, man.
and I truly
Absolutely.
believe that it was actually a team effort that led into the tour actually taking place. So
Absolutely.
how was the entire experience for you? I've heard it a lot of times, but let's let the people know now.
Let's get it on tape. I always wanted to go to the Northeast, and I've heard so much about it. I wanted to go to the Northeast even before it was cool. Cool. I mean, this is on tape, so yes, family, friends, and everybody
Yeah.
listening. I wanted to go to the Northeast before it was cool.
Yes. So basically, you're that
those
old.
lovely
Yeah.
programs. I am that old, dude. I'm a fucking dinosaur. We went there without any expectations and we played our heart out. From a venue like Gangtok Group, thank you, Gangtok Group, where everything was set up, the table, the stage, the kit, the amps, the PAs, to something which is downright grungy, which was Stumbling in Majtar, this underground place, literally underground. You have to go down a flight of stairs, and you're like, man, where did this place come out of?
So what a crazy place it was, man. I think that was one of our best gigs, as part of the tour. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that place is not meant to have a band. It's just meant to for a couple of people to dance, and like we're there rocking our socks out to some dude shouting, "Addison Chins, go!" And we're like, coming right up, man, coming right up. We're like throwing rock and alternate and grunge tracks to everybody. Like, here you go, here you go. Yeah. It was so good. Face first, I think so. It was so good to see like Rigel, who's the lead guitarist of Dirt Machine, like headbang with some random dude when he's like playing school. He's playing, headbanging, and having a good time. Like everything is just bouncing, man. Like my vision was like,
True, man. True.
yeah, that's happening. So it was like really good, man.
And hats off to you as well, man. I mean, the way we pulled off the show. I mean, with the limited resources that we had, right, in that pub. I mean, we did a lot, man, with the limited amount of whatever was there.
Correct. That is the true grit of any band. With whatever they have, they should manage. I mean, there'll be a point in life when you provide a tech writer, you get everything to the
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to happen to you eventually, but you got to work with whatever you don't have. Like,
Mm-hmm.
go to a venue and like, can I have an extra stand? No, we don't have an extra stand. You manage with that, and you're like, okay, all right, cool. Don't throw a fit. Just manage with whatever you have, and it just shows that we are accommodating and we are creative. Man, what is the essence of playing music? It's all about being creative.
True.
With being creative with your gear, because your gear is useless without you,
Mm-hmm.
and you need that gear at the end of the day. But how do you put up a show with limited resources? Man, that is something we learned, and we were the sound guys.
Yeah.
We were the in-house entertainment. We had to set everything up from scratch. Dude, wonderful experience, so
But
much to learn from.
yeah, I feel proud of it, man, because in a way, it had to come to us through an experience.
You got to go through that grit of failure. You got to
Yeah.
be like, man, how do I manage with this, man? But you got to be like, yes, I will manage, I will persevere, and get this show running, and which we did. What a killer show, man.
Yeah.
It was like watching those old grunge videos of like, of Alice in Chains performing in this
The entire
grubby
garage
old club.
scene. Yeah.
Exactly. Laid out there, and you're like, "Okay, please go and do your thing," and you're like, you know what, I will go and do my thing and give a great performance with whatever, because people are coming here to watch you play, not to see what fancy as equipment you have.
Yeah.
So that's what
True.
we did, and I'm very proud. I'm like so proud of the band, each and every one of you. You guys managed to pull it off, and we did such a roundhouse of a job. Can't ask for anything better. And the crowd, man, the crowd were like feeding off the energy. They were giving it back to us, and the venues were so accommodating. Though they had very limited to offer, they still gave everything they had. That's something that other big venues can learn from, treating the artist with the respect that they deserve. So that
Yeah.
was really good, man. Can't ask for
Yeah.
anything better.
Talking about the situation that's ongoing right now, I've also noticed a lot of things, that's come up during this time. One of the main things I've noticed, people coming out with a lot of talent, creativity, and doing, everything
Correct.
and anything online. I'm looking at the
Correct.
the good part of it. There's immense talent that's being produced now online.
Correct.
It's a really great thing to see. It's
Absolutely.
entertaining as well, and it's in a way it's knowledgeable. You have something to learn
Absolutely.
from it. How do you take all this? Did a thing like COVID-19 had to happen for this to come up?
Absolutely not. Like,
Yeah,
like first thing is like absolutely
because you
not.
never saw
But
this, frequently, right? Before everything,
correct,
before they started.
correct. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Hmm.
So desperate times ask for desperate measures, and yes, people are not going underground; they're going online.
Hmm.
Be like, hey, I mean, basically, internet and content go hand in hand. So you're flooding the internet with content. Some of it is like absolutely brimming with sheer talent. It's fun. They are maintaining top notch quality. But some of them are like, are you doing this for the heck of it? And I'm sure they are, which I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah,
Because whatever
of
you
course.
put out, make sure that it is driven by your passion to do it, uh, quality, and last but not the least, it should have that spark in it. From everything from doing a painting of a vase to
Hmm.
playing complicated polyrhythms. Make sure that there is some spark, some energy, something good about
Yeah,
it, and when somebody
something
sees it, they
positive.
should be like,
Because there's a lot of
exactly, when they
negative,
see,
right? Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Like,
Hmm.
man, like sometimes, excuse me, you come out with content that necessarily does not fulfill that desire to say do something nice. So you're like, man, what is this, like?
Yeah.
Come on, like, you're much better than that. Shout out to Kishan Hebar, a good friend of mine, extraordinary guitarist. He always comes out with great quality. He's a fantastic guitarist, and even if it's for a minute, he puts so much thought into it, and he is always like pushing the boundaries. Even if it's for a minute, I'm going to give the best 1 minute solo ever, and it's
Correct.
something inspirational, something to learn from. I'm not telling this because he's a good friend of mine, or maybe I am. So,
Yeah.
but I've known him for a long time, and he's always putting out amazing quality, and that's like something where you're
Yes,
going to be
yes.
like,
I second you
yeah,
on
something.
that. I've met the guy as well, and not only is he just a wonderful person, but an amazing guitarist, man.
A guy like him and several others are driven by passion, for the fact that you got to be like a musical sponge. You got to absorb everything around you, and when you put it out, put your flair in it, something that is you. Because when you hear it, you're like, man, dude, that sounded so much like Jimmy Page, but it had your style to it. When you
True.
hear somebody, their influences and themselves should be heard. It's not like in the 16th century where you're like, you're the only Bach, you're the
Mm.
only Beethoven. Of course, you hear other concerts back in the day, and you're influenced to do something. Even in Dirt Machine, I mean, we ooze out so much of Foo Fighters, we ooze out so much of Incubus, but we still like to retain our sound, our image. The lyrics are 100% coming from you, coming from the bottom of your heart. And we put our flair to it. If somebody tells me, hey man, like it had that vibe to it, I'm like, yeah, that's right. You're right, we are.
Yeah,
you
true.
know
Now,
and
hmm.
sorry, but like how when you sing, you're like, we give this as an example, and you're a huge Chris Cornell fan, correct?
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. So we're always telling, see, Chris Cornell will do this, and you'll be like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, he does that, and you try to inculcate some of that,
Yeah,
because what happens is when you give your heroes or the people you look up to as an example, it'll just push you harder.
true, true, true.
So
Yeah.
it's a great factor
No,
to
I
putting
think
your.
yeah, correct. I totally get where you're coming from, because as when you start following someone as your idol, or when you're a great fan of somebody you really adore,
Correct.
I think it comes naturally, right? When you try to, like, when you're in the same field as well, when you're trying
Correct.
to do the same thing, it comes
Correct.
naturally to you when you're on stage.
Correct.
At the back of your head, Chris Cornell or whoever your idol is always running there, right? You're always thinking about
Correct.
what he does that makes him
Correct.
so great.
Correct.
What can I do?
Correct.
What he does?
Correct.
Yeah, something, not copy. I don't
Uh,
mean to copy.
yeah, the factor here is, see, we'll never get to we'll never get to watch Soundgarden live ever. Okay, but you're always like, man, I'm not going to disappoint my idol. Like, the whole factor is, I'm not going to disappoint Dave Grohl
Yeah,
or this one. I mean,
that
it's very
responsibility
funny.
comes naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, man, I'm not going to ruin this song. I love this song so much. This band means so much to me. I'm not going to fucking ruin it by
Yeah,
doing this small mistake or that small mistake. You're going to give your heart and soul. You might not play it like a band, because at the end of the day, I repeat this quote. I will one day copyright this quote. You can never steal the feel. Remember that, you can never steal the feel. And whoever hears it and copies it, I will get you for it. I will seriously get you for it. You heard it first from my mouth on this podcast. You can never steal the feel.
yeah. You just owned yourself a sentence, man. Congrats.
On this podcast, what are the odds? What are the odds?
It's really fun talking to you today on this show episode. There are things that
Pleasure's all mine, dude.
we might not have spoken about these things when we are just naturally talking, right, off the
Absolutely,
camera.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
which is a great thing. I think people need to do this more often, and just start talking to
Correct.
people, call people, family, friends. Just get
Yeah,
to,
because yeah, you have
especially
all
at a
the
time like
time in the
this.
world. I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't have to go to work, right? Like,
Mm.
come on, man. Like, learn something. You want to learn how to bake a cake, learn how to play a polyrhythm, you know, whatever. Call your friend. I think that's what the world needs.
Yeah.
Some love, some.
And moving ahead with the show, I've got a few questions for you. All right, and general normal questions just to understand you a little bit better.
Man, normal,
Yeah,
dude. Come on.
yeah, specifically selected for you, man. So
Oh man, custom
yeah,
questions.
custom questions. Correct.
Oh,
Custom
yeah.
questions taken from Google.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, that is the holy grail of questions.
Great.
Everything.
So I've got five of them for you. All right. So
Oh
the
my
first,
God, lucky number
yeah,
5.
something people seem to misunderstand about you.
I think so. It's the enthusiasm. Nobody digs the enthusiasm, and when they do, it's that bond that is formed, you know. But I try my level best to just be myself, regardless of anything. I'm happy with the way I am, the way I talk, the way I learn, the way I dress. So, man, if they are game and they see that side of me, dude, I fight, man. I fight that shit. But try not getting the whole misunderstanding uh, train going, you know. But
Yeah.
but yeah, if coming to the question, it's the enthusiasm, you know. I mean, if it's come on, man, so you have to be enthusiastic. It's like whether you're going to like say even go to a restaurant which you've been to like 20 times, you're still like, yes, dude, I'm going to that restaurant again, and I'm so happy about it. I mean, like, you would want to meet your best friend every day, right? As much as you can. So it's the same thing. Just be enthusiastic, be happy. Always look at the bright side of life, like that song from Life of Brian. So yes.
All right. Moving on to the second one. What makes you feel, inspired or at your best self?
Well, small accomplishments
Mhm.
make me feel really good. Like since I teach, and when a student of mine, just picked up the drums like a year back, and they picked it up so well, and they always keep telling that, you know, I'm getting good at my craft, and I'm listening to songs with ears wide open, and man, I know what that part is and this part is. I'll be like, yeah, man, it's an accomplishment. I think so. Every small achievement that I do, like something like, if I prepare something for someone at home, and they're like, hey, this is really good, and there's a small child inside me going, yes. I'm so happy about it. I mean, every accomplishment just builds this whole positive repertoire, which is needed more than ever. Like when we play together as a band, when we nail that song, and even that itself is an achievement. Like, treat everything like an achievement. you know of course, we work hard towards it. We are always say uh, criticizing ourselves. We are our own worst critics. But with small achievements every day, even something as simple as waking up earlier than the
Mhm.
alarm set on your phone. You're like, oh man, I woke up early, thank God for small mercies. So yeah, that's very, very important, man. Always be a person of simple taste,
Mhm.
because simple taste is always equal to high standards.
What is that one important thing you've learned in your life? Some serious questions now.
I
What?
know, man, dude. This is like Ernest Hemingway seriousness, man. My God. What is that one important thing I learned in my life?
But it's awkward asking you questions, man.
I know, because I never answer them.
Yeah.
Uh, what is that one thing that I've learned in life? To be forgiving, especially to yourself. If you don't achieve something, you're like, it's all right. You can do it again. Because when you start forgiving yourself, you start motivating yourself a little more. That is something that I learned, and I
Mhm.
learned it the hard way, which exactly is how it should be learned. So yeah, you go through different periods of life where you're down in the dumps,
Hmm.
and but there's always something that is lending that hand and be like, get up, it's all right. For example, I was not in the best of uh, places when I met you guys, and you guys took me out of there to a much brighter side. Hence, Dirt Machine is always going to be a band that is very, very, very important to me. And working towards being popular, successful, original is something that we are going towards. Hence, yeah, being more forgiving is something that I learned. You all make mistakes, and when you forgive yourself, you automatically become forgiving towards others, and you're not irritated by a small factor, which is very important. Again, in today's world, with so much happening, you tend to lose your shit very easily, to put
Yeah.
it in common terms. So, if somebody does something, you're like, hey, it's all right, it's cool. It's all right. We have made that mistake in the past. We've done that. It's all right. It's cool. Be this really cool people. You're like, my God, nothing bothers this guy, man. Exactly. You got to be that person, and you will be that automatically when you start forgiving yourself and when you start forgiving others, man. And go on with your life with that goal at the end of the tunnel.
That's a good lesson to take away from this show. People watch it,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Like,
yeah,
now is the time. Like, see, it's never too late to say or tell anybody anything. Take it in the right way, folks. It's never too late. Never too late to learn an instrument. Never to learn to say, prepare something nice for your loved one, your
mm.
mother, your father, your uncle, your aunt, your granny, your grandpa, uncle, auntie, girlfriend, boyfriend, etc., etc., etc. It's never too late. It's never too late to say, pick up painting, and even if the closest thing you can draw is like a stick figure, it's fine. Try something, you know never look back and be like, man, I should have tried that. Should have. why,
Yeah.
why should have when you could have?
I did is better than I should have. Man.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. So, now is like a great time,
Mm.
to get that train running.
That's some
And
great wisdom there.
oh, yeah, it only comes
And
out in podcasts.
yeah,
It never comes out otherwise.
what's the best tip for making this world a better place?
Other than minding your own business, I definitely
I think
have
you
to
said it,
say,
man.
I think I just said it.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very important to uh, be honest towards yourself, and be, let's go to question number 3, be forgiving, and be mature and practical. Just never just jump into a conclusion. Just take your time, take a deep breath, and analyze the situation, and come forth with whatever you want to do. I think so. Analyze and
Mm.
mature analyzation of a situation. Don't just jump into things. I mean, it's not a mosh pit that you just directly jump into it. No, it's not like that. You can take your time, take your sweet time. It will work out perfectly. Just, but always make sure that you have something in mind to reach. Like if you want to say quit your job and open a pizzeria, think closely. It can definitely be achieved. Like, whoever's out there, you want to achieve something, but currently you're doing something that you're not happy with. Always take the time to analyze yourself. So this is the best part about these COVID times, man. You get it's an oxymoron of a statement. Good time, best times, and COVID-19 does not go good together. But these are times when you can actually sit and analyze and be like, hey, is this what I really want to do? Self-reflection is very, very important. So if you get an opportunity to do that, go ahead and do it. It's not like you're praying and you're meditating and suddenly you open your eyes and you're like, oh my God, I think I should have done that. No, it can strike anywhere, man. The, the Dimaki Batti will light up anytime. Just make sure that it does. You're in that frame of mind.
Find yourself, find your passion.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, do that. Go ahead. The world is your oyster.
I also feel that people are coming out more now, man. Like we've already
Absolutely.
discussed about this, but
Hmm.
it's very strange, because of this whatever's happening right now. And there's not much people
Mhm.
would do at home, right? Normal people are just sleeping, watching TV,
Correct.
Netflix, chilling, and all that.
Correct.
But all of a sudden, I see a huge growth
Correct.
in terms of people coming out and doing a lot of things. Like, for example,
Yeah.
myself as well. I mean, I was doing a normal, regular 9 to 5 job, or probably night shift most of the times,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And working in the corporate field. and there was nothing happening. You just work, get your money paid, you get your salary, and
Right.
you never got time for, to do the things you love the most. And that's like music,
Absolutely.
video. Like I'm very
Because
interested in video editing and all that, but I never got the
absolutely.
time. And because of
Yeah.
this lockdown, everything's falling into place. Now I
And
know a lot of things about what I want to do.
great. I should tell you that we all are living in a hustle, every day, Monday to Sunday.
Hmm.
It's all that hustle, 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 hustle. Quoting Ferris Bueller, life moves pretty fast. You got to stop once in a while and look around whatever is happening. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on a lot of different things.
Hmm.
We've been living in that hustle, and suddenly when you stop and realize and analyze what was happening, you tend to become more mature. Quoting Jiddu Krishnamurti on this one, observation without judgment is the highest form of wisdom. So, it's the same thing. Sometimes you just got to sit, you got to relax and be like, okay, all right, but depends on how you take it, because a factor like this can lead to midlife crisis, which we don't want. So, take the time to reflect, take the time to chill, take the time to learn how to make pancakes, and maybe when you eat it you're like, yes, that factor.
Wow, great, man. All right, now the last question. It is the best compliment you've received in your life.
The best compliment I've received in my life, wow. So,
It may not have come
I think
yet.
so.
You've not,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but you can still,
uh,
from the ones you've gotten already.
yeah, the best compliment I received from this. I mean, it's always about from. I'll always like. I have received compliments, but I will take it from a playing perspective, playing drums perspective, because I worked my ass out to be where I am at the
Mm.
moment. So I'm going to take that into consideration. And somebody would always come up to me and be like, you do it. That's the best compliment I can receive, from somebody. I mean, imagine they don't know what to say and still they're like struggling with action and words, and they're trying to tell me that, hey, you did a good job. And I'm sure the person has zilch idea of music, but what I did had such an impactful day. Maybe that person was having a really rough day, a really rough week, a really rough month, a really rough fucking year, and that person made up their mind to come and watch us play, and they had the time of their lives. All their burdens just disappeared when we played, like with Dirt Machine or the previous band that I played, the Shooting Scales, or the other band that I played for. So when somebody comes and says that, dude, you played really good, you made my day, that is what really really like hits a bell, because God knows what they're going through, man, and you just made their day. What more can you ask for? All that practice finally pays off. I mean, they're not going to tell you, man, you're so technical, how did you play that time signature? No, they're just going to be like, dude, I could see the passion in your eyes, you played really well, and you're like, thanks. Thanks, let it be from somebody who knows the instrument or has no idea. It's still, they come up to you and say, you did a good job. That's the best compliment I can ask for, man. You did a really good job, man. I had a good time. They're not going to like, go too deep in it. Thanks. Just a simple thank you. You made my day. That's like the best compliment I've received from people. You know, whether they're drunk, whether they're shit drunk or super sober. If they come and they tell me that, you know, thank you so much. Everything was awesome. Everything,
Mm.
top to bottom.
That's awesome. It reminds me of the time. Remember when we were in Gantok Groove, our
Hmm?
first tour, and there was an elderly gentleman who, came on right in front of the stage.
Correct,
He
correct,
called me
correct,
and he
correct,
was
correct,
like,
correct.
"Man, those two lines from Pratibandh,
Yes,
right?
which is
You
our
know,
original, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the original."
there's a
And
music.
he
Yeah,
was really inspired by it. I mean, I hope he was, because the way he spoke to me about it, and
absolutely, absolutely.
I was really like, that was a proud moment. It was just
Yeah.
maybe just for about 5 or 6 seconds. He just came there. Nobody even noticed or saw him. He just came there and he was like, "Hey, the line, the second verses line was the one that really touched him."
Correct. See, you can't ask for anything better, man. Like you just humanly can't ask for anything better. You know,
Yeah.
you have struck a chord. You have you have you have removed the burdens of that moment. You know, all that all that blood, sweat, tears, and toil has finally paid off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome.
So no
Can't
worries,
ask
we
for anything
shall
better.
keep on writing, better music and better lyrics.
Exactly.
So we
And
hope to do so.
lyrics, yeah, for lyrics, I do not know because I just don't get the translation for any of the songs. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not complaining, or am I? I'm not sure. But but
Well, you are, man.
we will keep writing. Yes, I
Yeah.
am. I am. Let's be honest over here. I am. The that tour like really paid off. You know, nothing like going from Sikkim to West Bengal, playing over there in Kalimpong and coming back the same day and going through these forest routes and Karma telling, hey, this is haunted, that is haunted. You see the second tree which is next to that tree, which is behind that tree. Yeah, that tree is haunted. Like, okay, man, calm down with the
For me, it was the
stories.
traveling part, man. That was the best.
Dude, nothing like seeing such picturesque sights, man. It was
Mm.
so good. I mean,
And the stops
that's
we
the
had.
whole. Absolutely,
We've
absolutely.
been.
Everything was awesome, man. Like went there with zero expectations, and everything turned out much better than
Mm.
what it was. Everything was put to 11.
Okay. No, I
That's
think
the best part.
all the guys, I mean the members, including you and me, we didn't expect much in terms of financial gains or any monetary gains or something. We just went because we wanted to perform so badly, right? And that was the
Correct,
first time we got
correct,
a show outside of
correct,
Bangalore, and it
correct,
was a great. I think it was,
correct.
yeah, like I said, it's the biggest achievement for us until now.
Yeah, so far, yeah, because what happens is we did everything by ourselves and we did it for the sheer love of music, for
Yeah.
the sheer love of performing. The sheer aspect of playing live gives us such a good kick. We
Hmm.
just went there and we're like, hey, come what may, whatever they give, we're just going to do our best. And that's what we did. And it's something that we can always look back to and be proud of, and it can be ticked off, it can be added to the repertoire, which is always growing when you're in a band. And we had such a good time. When we would go to venue, we're always like getting a kick off each other and laughing and cracking silly jokes
Yeah.
and talking such utter crap and still having a ball. And that kind of positive energy just comes into your playing and you are at it, you are in the ace of your game.
That leads to the end of the show, and I must
Oh
tell you that
man, no.
I really had a great time talking to you, and talking about just normal stuff and things maybe we may have missed had we been face to face talking to each other. You know.
Yeah, man.
So
I think the
yeah.
viewers know what we're talking about. Come on, they're smart people. So it would be so good. But I had such a wonderful time talking to you, answering these deliciously difficult questions, and I hope the viewers have learned a thing or two. And if they have, and if their internal motivation has been kicked a little bit, I can't ask for anything better. This podcast is doing a fantastic job.
All right. Anyways, I'm going to end the show now. And guys, thank you so much for watching the first episode of Casual Conversations. That was Ruben.
Peace and love.
See you in the next episode.
Peace and love.
Ciao.
Peace and love. Ciao.